Well, hello there. How is everyone? I hope you're all well on this stupendous Sunday. It's Sunday. It's the day of rest. You're looking absolutely amazing. And this is video one of just one. Come on. It's the bank holiday weekend. We all deserve a break, a rest. And I'm sure you've got plenty of other more important things to do than listen to me rambling on. So let's get straight into the meat and potatoes as we talk about something that I think is relevant. I think this is genuinely a relevant topic to speak about and consider, because we currently have we have more than two, but the two that I want to address is the Karen Reid case and the Brian Kohberger case. Because you have a situation in the Karen Reid case where she's been accused of killing her boyfriend, John O'Keefe, who's a cop. And people are saying that's a cover-up. It's a cover-up, she didn't do it. And, you know, they're even outside the courtroom with placards and board and, you know, free Karen, against corruption. You've even got people in the crowd that look strangely like Bullhorn Betty, but I don't think they are Bullhorn Betty. Anyway, I digress. So look, and then you've got Brian Kohberger, who is being accused of a quadruple homicide. And in both of these situations, I find it quite amusing. I find it quite amusing because in the Karen Reid case, she was at the scene of the crime. At the scene of the crime, she apparently had even admitted to the fact that she may have even hit John O'Keefe. And her behaviour subsequently, and some of the things that have come out are indicative of someone who, it could be said that it's quite likely that she did hit him. Now, I am on the fence with it, 100%. I don't know. I haven't followed the case closely enough, but it's, you know, it's one of those things where I'm open and able to, I suppose, be acceptant of things that cannot be right. And what I mean by that is that I believe that she could indeed be innocent of the crime. You know, we've got issues with respect of the broken tail light. Was it broken? Was it not? Apparently, at one point it's broken because they're saying that's how she hit John O'Keefe, and then later on the light is all miraculously put back together and all sorts of things. We've got John O'Keefe with his injuries. They're saying that he had injuries seemingly from a dog on him, and, you know, there's a lot of odd stuff around that case. You know, I'm sure those of you who are interested in it are following it, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. But then you've got the Brian Kohberger case where what really ties him to the crime? You know, we've got I guess the broken tail light in the Idaho 4 case is the knife sheath with the DNA. You know, questionable evidence that, you know, was kind of a catalyst for what went on, despite the fact that Karen Reid at the scene basically said, "I think I've hit him," or whatever she said, you know what I mean, which is not going to be helpful, and has also been the foundation of some believing that she indeed did hit him, and again, the guilters in that case, if you like. But what I would like to do as an exercise, I want you to be brutally honest. Just say if Brian Kohberger were a girl.
If I were a girl.
Yeah, I'm a singer. If he was a female, right, how much support would he have? Do you think that there would be people outside the courtroom with billboards, free Brian, and all that? Do you think that if the victims were males, you had perhaps 3 males and 1 female who was over, and the perpetrator again was a female, would we, but everything else was the same? Every single other element was exactly the same. How much support do you think that Brianna Kohberger would have? Or Brianna Kohberger would have? That works better, doesn't it? Brianetta. What the fuck was that? Brianna Kohberger. Would Brianna have more support? Would people who are in the guilters camp still be in the guilters camp if we was talking about Brianna Kohberger? Because I think that's a very, very valid place to be. You know, and if Karen Reid was Carl Reid and John O'Keefe was Mary O'Keefe, would she have, or would he have, because he would then be a he, would he have more support or less support if, again, things would completely remain the same? I suppose, get to the point, Ash. I hear you say, get to the point. Look, this is one video today. One video, remember, one. So I'm rambling a bit. But I suppose my point being is that does the person who you're talking about influence the way you feel about the crime? And I put this out massively, more to the guilters, okay? More to the guilters. I touched on something yesterday, a video 2. If you didn't see it, if you didn't see my videos yesterday, go check them out. And also, do me a favour. Do me a favour. That is, if you've not liked the video, like it. Even if you don't like it. It helps me. And I'm sure you're a good person, you want to help me out. And subscribe to the channel. Subscribing to the channel helps the channel. It helps it. So if you want to help it, even if you don't want to help it, just do a good thing. As like you could do good deed for the day. Anyway, I digress. Where was I? Now I've forgotten where I was. No, like I say, the guilters. You know, I'd done this video yesterday and it was, where should you be? Where, in reality, where should you be in the Brian Kohberger case? And I concluded that the best place to be and where people really should be is on the fence. People should really be on the fence because there isn't genuinely enough factual evidence released to the public that would, in my opinion, be indicative of he absolutely did this crime beyond a reasonable doubt and deserves to be executed for it. And when I talk to people, even people who are guilters, but I get on very well with, even some of them admitted yesterday, do you know what I mean? I must admit that it's a gut feeling I get. And I've always been told, or I've always known that trusting my gut was the best thing. And do you know what? There's a lot to be said about intuition and trusting your gut. And I'd certainly say in a lot of situations you should indeed trust your gut. But I think that's more for when something could potentially affect you directly. If you get a feeling that, is this right? Because something feels off, then it's likely to be off. And for self-preservation purposes, that works incredibly well. But when you're talking about someone else who is likely to be executed, I'm not sure whether a gut feeling is the best way to be. But I get it, because again, that's just how we are. We're built. That's our function. But again, to the guilters, so just say Brianna Kohberger was accused of this crime and everything remained the same. Would you be more open to listen to the things that are on the peripheral? Would you be questioning things that you're not questioning now? And again, I'm asking you a valid question, or is this just honestly just your decision to convict and execute is purely based on what you have seen, and the evidence that you deem as factual? Because you must admit, when looking at the Karen Reid case, you know, I personally feel that if Karen was we could just say Brian Reid, and he'd accused of killing. We don't know yet. I think the amount of support that Karen is getting would dissipate. I can't see it. And is it in fact the way that we feel as humans? And I hate to use the word sexist, but I suppose in a way it is, isn't it? It's do we tolerate certain things from certain people more than what we would other people? And do we question more of certain people than we do of other people? Let me know down below what you think. Brianna Kohberger Would you trust Brianna Kohberger more than you trust Brian? Would you be more open to the potential of Brianna being innocent? And Karen, would you be more likely condemn her if her name was Ken? I'll catch you all tomorrow.